While Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era has gotten all the attention of turn-based fans who continue to play the demo for hundreds of hours, this small indie Heroes-like turn-based strategy game from a tiny Swedish studio dropped a major update. Quietly. Now, I've been a fan of what the Lava Potion team did with Songs of Conquest. It's their first game, mind you, and ever since it was released in 1.0 last year, they have released two faction DLCs which have generally been positively received. Most of the negative reviews have centered around the fact there is no campaign with these DLCs. And the challenge missions which come with the DLCs does not equal the campaign experience. They are too difficult for players who just want to have a good time playing through a fun campaign with an interesting story. This was highlighted by the devs that the challenge missions were perhaps not very new player friendly, and despite it having a lot of lore in them, players didn't see these as story missions. It wasn't equal to that campaign experience. They were a bit too punishing on those who just wanted to have a good time. So with the Tales update, they have organized things better, adding a new section in this single player campaign. Tales, which are short stories, or you could think of them as mini campaigns. All these challenge missions have been rebranded as Tales, and you can now adjust difficulty settings for them, making them a bit more palatable to more players. But that wasn't all though, because if it was just rebranding the DLC challenge missions, that would be rather disappointing. But no, they added a free new tale. It's just two missions or maps linked in a linear storyline though, so don't expect a campaign length experience here. And from what they've shared and from what I've seen, the free tale that they added in this latest update is sort of like a continuation of one of the campaign stories. This has been enough to give the game a small uptick in active players. Still not close to what the game had at launch. There was a pretty big drop off as players completed the campaigns or had their fill of it and just stopped playing the game. The DLCs did not have a huge effect on player numbers, as I'm sure Lava Potion would surely have hoped for. There's been a good positive buzz with the player base who say this update has brought them back into the game. It goes to show, that games could get a good positive bump if developers actually listen to player feedback. I mean, go figure. If only AAA game companies would just listen to their players. Lava Potion are doubling down on Tales by announcing an upcoming DLC that will introduce a brand new tale. This one with 4 linked missions. It's almost like a single player campaign in length. Most of the campaigns are 4 mission longs though, and there are a total of 4 campaigns in the Songs of Conquest base game. But they aren't calling the Rise Eternal DLC a campaign because it doesn't feature songs at the end of missions, which is where the game gets its name, Songs of Conquest. But anyway, Rise Eternal will be focused on Castor Smile, a necromancer who can summon the undead from the Risen faction. That's the undead faction of the game. Making a necromancer evil campaign is bound to be a popular move because playing evil, everyone knows playing evil is fun. The devs will be sharing more about Rise Eternal at a later date. While we don't have a specific release date for this DLC, they did mention in their 2026 roadmap that it is planned for spring 2026, and another faction DLC, the Yulan, is slated for late spring 2026. No price announced yet, but if it is anything like their previous DLCs, I think it would be about $10 ish. I have to admit I have not completed most of the campaign due to a lack of time trying to play countless other strategy games. I really liked what I played in Songs of Conquest. It's perhaps not as deep as a Heroes of Might and Magic game, but it's got its own charm. A light and easy to get into gameplay and a story and lore they've crafted with a lot of care. Perhaps I'll try to play more of this to prepare for the Rise Eternal DLC next year. I'm sure Songs of Conquest will get a bunch of new players because it is currently on a deep 75% discount. The DLC's also got a good discount, so you can grab the whole thing for a pretty good deal. I have no doubt this discount will continue on with the Steam Winter Sale, which I think will begin on December 19th. So yeah, a nice little game to get this year's end. Certainly worth supporting these devs that have poured quite a bit of development time post 1.0. So if you've been thinking of checking it out, this is perhaps the best time to get the game. Anyway, if you've played Songs of Conquest, tell me what you think of the game in the comments below. If you like strategy game news videos like these, which I do quite a bit of, as well as yapping on about some cool older strategy games, do subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Continue watching this video where I share some maybe not so obvious tips on Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era demo, or this video where I talk about how awesome Endless Legend 2 is. Thanks for watching and farewell noble friends.